There is a saying, when you spare the rod, you will spoil a child. This is very true in this story of a girl called Njideka, who was pampered and spoilt rotten by her parents. Hence, she did not know right from wrong. For you to understand, I want you to join me on this story to see how a girl's ruthlessness led to her own demise. Once upon a time, in the village of Udaha, there lived a girl named Njideka. She was born into a home with a very ambitious father, Ndo, and a social climbing mother, Afanne. From a very young age, Njideka was taught by her mother to only befriend people of a higher status than herself if she wants to become more successful in life. She also instilled into Njideka to believe that she would never associate with people of lower class or people that were not beautiful. Njideka truly was one of the most beautiful girls in the village. She was always admired by people. Her radiant skin, her sparkling eyes, and her long flowing hair made her stand out wherever she went. Throughout Njideka's life, she always received favoritism due to her beauty and her family's wealth. She loved being the center of attention and always wanted to be noticed and regarded highly, even amongst her friends. She liked to show dominance in any group, and she often overshadowed others with her presence. However, Njideka had one significant flaw. She was very lazy. She could not do anything for herself without the help of her helper. Her parents provided her with a personal helper to cook, to shower, to wash her clothes, while Njideka's peers learned to pound yam, cook, and perform household chores expected by the women of the village. Njideka delegated her task to her helper, enjoying a life of ease and luxury. One sunny afternoon, Njideka was on her way to visit her good friend. As she walked past the village well, she saw an old woman struggling to pull up a bucket of water. The old woman, with her frail hands shaking and her back bent with old age, reached out to Njideka begging for help. Please, my hands have suddenly grown weak. I don't have the strength to pull this bucket out. Can you help me? The old woman pleaded. Njideka laughed and asked, how dare you ask me to help you fetch water? Do I look like someone who does hard labor? Look at my hands. Do they look like they do any work? The old woman, persistent in her plea, said, please, forgive me, my daughter. My hands have weakened with age. I really need help. Please, I have to make something to eat. I have been here for hours. No one was able to help me. Njideka, growing annoyed, replied, you ugly woman, never speak to me again in your life. We are not on the same level. How dare you presume to ask me for help? As Njideka was about to walk away, the woman called after her, child, why are you so filled with pride and meanness? My request just to help pull out this bucket of water did not warrant all these insults. Njideka, furious at the woman's defiance, returned to slap her across the face and demanded, what did you say to me? The old woman was shocked and hurt and responded, why did you hit me? I do not deserve this. Njideka, still very angry, said and threatened, if you say anything else to me, you will regret it. In a fit of rage, Njideka pushed the woman into the well when the woman defied her. As the woman fell into the well, she cursed at Njideka and said, "It will never be well with you. You will never fulfill your heart desires. Someone will find out what you've done to me, and you will get your reward. The gods will not let you get away with this." Njideka, terrified of her actions, looked around to see if anyone witnessed the incident. Seeing no one was there, she ran away, believing that her secret was safe. She tried to shake off the old woman's curse, but those words haunted her. Weeks later, there was an announcement by the royal palace that Prince Uche was looking for a wife. The prince invited all the eligible maidens to compete for his hand in marriage. The news spread quickly, and many beautiful women, including Ogonna, who was the #1 prettiest girl in the village and Njideka's biggest threat, turned up to contest. Ogonna's beauty was legendary, with her striking features and her graceful demeanor, captivating everyone. She was also very sweet and a very nice girl. Njideka was often referred to as the second most beautiful, so she coveted Ogonna's position. During the competition, the first task for the contestant was to cook the most delicious meal for the prince. All the women went home to prepare their best meal. Njideka, of course not knowing how to cook, sought the help of her auntie with skills that amazed the entire village. She told Njideka, "This is not right. You should learn how to cook for yourself." Njideka begged, "Auntie, please, I need to win this. You are the best cook in Udaha. Everyone knows that. Please help me." Her auntie, seeing her desperation, decided to help her. When the prince tasted Njideka's dish, he was impressed and shortlisted her for the next round with some other girls that made the cut. Njideka's food also stood out and received praise. She was filled with pride and confidence, believing she was one step closer to winning the prince's heart. The next round was the water fetching contest. All the women were asked to fetch water for the prince to shower. But Njideka, who was always waking up late, overslept. By the time she woke up, all the women had already fetched the water from the river. Desperate, Njideka did not want to lose this round. She decided to steal another contestant's water. When she saw a contestant passing by, she set a large hen loose on the road to distract the woman carrying the water. When the woman dropped the calabash to chase after the hen, Njideka then hit her with a wooden stick and stole her water, leaving the woman unconscious. Njideka carried the water and arrived forth with the stolen water. Then Prince announced that only 4 women will make the final round. So Njideka made the cut. She felt a mix of relief and accomplishment. Finally, it was time for the ultimate contest. During this round, the women were expected to dress up beautifully, performing a dance and enticing the prince. Njideka knew that Ogonna was her biggest threat, so she devised a plan to eliminate her. At night, Njideka told Ogonna about a new bidder who made the most beautiful head beads and offered to take her there. Ogonna, who was sweet and unsuspecting, agreed. The next evening, on their way to meet the bidder, Njideka offered Ogonna water laced with disorienting herbs. She wanted Ogonna to drink this to feel dizzy. Ogonna drank and said to Njideka, "I don't feel well. I'm struggling to keep my balance." Njideka knew the herbs had taken effect and signaled some men that she hired to take Ogonna to a faraway village where she would never find her way back. The men, however, decided to leave Ogonna in a nearby village after collecting Njideka's money. I mean, why would they want to go so far if they already had the money in their hands? So they dragged Ogonna into the bushes and covered her with leaves in the next village, hoping she would not be found. On the day of the event, only 3 women showed up. The prince asked, "Where is the 4th contestant? Where is Ogonna?" Njideka immediately claimed that Ogonna had gone to the village of Oloka to meet her true lover. She also claimed that Ogonna confided in her that lover in Oloka village was the true love of her life and had given her a wooden plaque as proof of their love. Njideka pulled out a wooden plaque, handing it to the prince. The prince felt betrayed. He was baffled. So he decided to disqualify Ogonna and marry Njideka instead. Njideka felt extremely accomplished and proud of herself. At that point, she knew she was going to become the next crown princess. As the prince was about to crown Njideka, Ogonna appeared from nowhere, looking tattered and worn out. She begged, "Please stop. Njideka set me up," Ogonna cried out, stumbling towards the prince. She also accused Njideka of deceit and treachery. The prince told Ogonna to shut up, that he has proof of a wooden plaque which shows her lover's message to her. Ogonna was confused and said, "This is not true. I don't have a lover in Oloka village. I have never even been there before." Prince Uche then showed her the plaque and asked her, "Then what is this? Explain to me." She said, "This is not mine. Prince Uche, I promise you, this is not mine." Confused and skeptical, Prince Uche decided to call for the village seer to determine who was telling the truth. The seer was a wise and respected elder and agreed to help solve this case. While the seer arrived, he then summoned the spirit of truth. The spirit of truth would possess anybody he knew was lying and would make the person confess. The spirit of truth was released, and Njideka started shaking and was afraid that the truth would come out. The spirit of truth pointed at Njideka as the liar and possessed her body. Njideka immediately fell on her knees and started confessing to everything she did. She confessed to stealing a contestant's water, asking her auntie to cook for her, pushing a woman in the well, and much more. When the spirit of truth released Njideka's body, the villagers were shocked by Njideka's evil deed. They demanded that Njideka must be punished, and they wanted her to be banished in the evil forest, never to return again. She must pay for her actions. They cried out in unison, "Banish her." Njideka, realizing the gravity of her situation, begged for mercy. Prince Uche was highly disappointed and agreed to banishing Njideka. Njideka's family, upon hearing everything Njideka did, became ashamed. They were scorned by the villagers. They could not bear the embarrassment and shame anymore. So they decided to pack their things and leave in the middle of the night to avoid interactions with their neighbors. After they left the village, the prince decided to marry Ogonna, the woman who truly deserved to win the competition. Both of them got married in an elaborate celebration and lived happily ever after. Ogonna, with a kind heart and genuine spirit, was all smiles and thanked the gods for saving her life and helping her marry the prince. The end. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe, like, and share. Turn on the notification button so anytime we post a new story, you will be the first to know about it.